In a country like India with a population of 1.3 billion and counting, it is safe to say that much of the population is used to grow an audience online. India has long suffered from a toxic hustle culture where grueling work hours and pushing yourself until your body gives up is the norm. Lots of employees have reported that they have suffered from digital exhaustion at some point, and things still look bleak for India, and this is a rising issue. Several creators have highlighted this as a burning issue, but I wanted to talk about this with regards to India. So, what do you do about it? Well, the answer isn't that easy. Over the past few years in India, there has been a rise in hustle culture, a culture where performative workaholism is normalized and you're constantly looking for ways to escape your predicament. We have a bunch of creators imparting their knowledge and expertise in order for you to make that big difference. While this may sound like a good idea on paper, it has its detrimental effects. Let's take a look at how this happens. So, hustle culture essentially talks about how you can make it big in life if you're willing to sacrifice a good amount of sleep and sanity. In a country with the second largest population, cutthroat competition in almost every field, a saturated job market, and rising unemployment, it only makes sense for people to believe that hustle culture can make you stand out from the rest. Now, this is where things get interesting. How do I make myself better? Behold, the rise of self-development and personal growth. We have an immense amount of content creators in India providing value on all platforms on how you can change your life from where you're sitting right now, hone your skills to become a better person, change your mindset, build a brand, etc. And almost all of these creators are active on platforms such as LinkedIn, YouTube, Instagram. They put out posts and reels about how to get productive and get yourself moving. Because let's face it, reels are put out with people who have a short attention span. So whenever you hit rock bottom in life and you view a reel or post about productivity, your brain stimulates dopamine and you feel a sudden burst of optimism which is quite short-lived. Over time, you become slightly dependent on these creators whenever you face a downfall. You watch them again as you open your social media profile, and over time, your feed is filled with handles talking about side hustles and productivity to a point where you're puzzled and overwhelmed due to the algorithm.
Work Justin Bieber might have put in. It's insane.
Listen to me now.
Get up. उठ जा और जाकर काम करो.
You feel guilty about taking a leisure break because that does not align with productivity as you scroll through your social media feed. In most cases, leisure breaks are almost heavily looked down upon by these creators. They say things like stop watching TV, stop watching Netflix, stop scrolling through social media, which is ironic because how else would we watch your content? All of your guilty pleasures are dismissed. Almost all of the comment section is filled with gratitude and praise. As Indians, we've always been the type of people that were easily swayed by things such as politics, religion, different traditions and customs, and movies, and immediately form a cult following for these, giving certain number of people a demigod status. We are heavily opinionated on these decisive factors, and due to our gullible nature and the condition of the economy, it's quite easy to lure us into these self-development programs. The pattern is easy. You watch content, follow these tips or so-called secret methods. Let's say things don't work out. You cannot legally sue them, nor do they owe you an explanation. If everything works out for you, you attribute your success to them and rewire your mind into thinking that you need to consume more of their content to keep moving forward, which is their strategy of retention, to keep you coming for more. Being stuck in a pandemic gives you more time to reflect on how to make your life better, and we find ourselves searching for answers to the numerous questions we have in our head. And with successive lockdowns in India, things have only been getting worse. India has a young population, and this paves the way to a largely untapped market for self-development with the growth of social media in the following years. The first humans appeared on Earth about 2 million years ago, as far as evidence tells us. Over years of evolution and resilience, we managed to overcome every crisis and tragedy with our grit. We've had millionaires and generations of affluence throughout history that were unaware of words like hustle and grind. It's okay to consume content, pick up a few pointers, but don't let it dictate your life and beat yourself for not feeling productive enough, because you'll only find yourself in a loop, as there's never really enough productivity.